Welcome Tech Brothers Damir. In this video, we are going to learn about what is Azure Data Explorer in Synapse. Azure Data Explorer ADX is fast and highly scalable data exploration service optimized for analyzing logs and telemetry data. In Azure Synapse Analytics, ADX is integrated as a first-class engine called the Data Explorer Pool, which allow you to run Custo query language queries directly inside the Synapse Studio. So if you will go to the Azure Data Explorer here, let's say you go to manage here, and then you have a SQL pool. So there you have this serverless SQL pool, and then you can create a dedicated SQL pool. Next, you have Apache Spark pool that you can create right here, and then use the notebooks and write your PySpark code and run. Then here is the Data Explorer pool that you can create right here, and then you will be able to write your Custo queries and analyze your log or telemetry data. Now this Azure Data Explorer service is also available fully here in Azure portal. So if you go to the portal.azure.com and look for Azure Data Explorer right here, and you can create the cluster, and you can write your Custo queries and all that. Now there I can go ahead and pretty much teach you this whole Azure Data Explorer detail, how to create the cluster, how to write the queries, what are the joins and whatnot. So I can write all those details. But guess what, I have actually created this tutorial in past, and if you go right here, there are 68 videos on this topic. So Azure Data Explorer tutorial and writing the Custo query language as well. So if you click right there, this is my tutorial.
Welcome.
And here you can see that how to install Azure Data Explorer, and then also tell you all the details, how to connect to it, how to use the databases, how to add and remove columns and whatnot. So this is all 68 videos are there, so you can dig into as much as you want and spend time. Then if you don't want to follow from the playlist, you can go right here and then go to TechBrothersIT.com, and then here third tab or fourth and the second line, first tab is Custo query language tutorial. So if you see here, you can see that how to install. So those are the same links that I have here in the YouTube, but I have put them chapter by chapter here. So managing tables, column operations, basic queries, then you have filtering, sorting, and all those different good stuff that you can learn as a Custo query language developer. So you have pretty much everything what you need to learn for related to the Azure Data Explorer or Custo query language. It will be repetition of all those topics if I will start teaching you right here. But anyways, if you are here in the Data Explorer pool, you can go ahead and create your Data Explorer cluster, and let's say we call this for Amir ext, and then you will look for the workload. It can be storage optimized or compute optimized. Let's go with the compute optimized, and then you have a extra small 2-core cluster, 4 cores, 8 cores, and 16. So you can choose the size you want. Then go to additional settings here, and you can see auto scaling is there. So you can start with maybe 2 nodes and increase to these 8 nodes. And depending upon that one, your pricing will be calculated. So you can see that the cost per node and 2 cores and 80 GB in that's going to be 0.44 per hour, and then you have multiply 2, then it's going to be estimated total 0.88 to $1.13 per hour for these settings. Now there is a streaming ingestion, you can do enable or not enable. There is a purging, you can enable or not enable. That's your choice depending upon your scenarios. And then finally you will hit review and create. And as I said that I'm not going to go ahead and create this whole thing because I already have everything what you need. You can take a look from here, how to create, how to query, how to create tables and whatnot. Now let me take you a little bit further and show you a few things that are important in this scenario or this slide. Use cases for the Azure Data Explorer in Synapse. Azure Data Explorer is ideal for scenarios where you need to ingest and query high volume, high velocity or time series data. Common use cases include IoT telemetry analysis, web app activity and clickstream data, financial market tick data, real-time log analysis and alerting, user behavior tracking, security event and order log monitoring. So these are common use cases where you will be using this Azure Data Explorer and Custo query language. So how is the ADX different from the dedicated SQL pool and the serverless SQL pool? So that makes a huge debate here. Why exactly we need to use the ADX when we already have a SQL serverless SQL pool that can query all the files sitting in our storage, or we can use a dedicated SQL pool and create the tables and also have external tables as well if we needed, and write our SQL queries. So here are some things that will make us think if we need to use the ADX. So features such as engine, you use the Custo engine here for ADX. You used for the dedicated SQL pool, use the T-SQL based MPP, so parallel processing engine that comes with the Microsoft. And then you have serverless SQL pool, you will use the T-SQL based on demand. Then a query language that you will use is the Custo query language for Azure Data Explorer. For the dedicated SQL pool and serverless SQL pool, you will use the T-SQL. Best for logs, when you have telemetry and time series, that's where the ADX is best. And then what is dedicated SQL pool is best for dimension and fact tables and warehousing. And then serverless SQL pool ad hoc queries. So you want to write the data to extract from some files or something like that. Then ad hoc queries, you can use the serverless SQL pool. Performance optimization, so it is a columnar plus indexing, so it's good when your data is you have a columnar and indexing, so it helps you for the best performance. And dedicated SQL pool is great where we have user distribution such as a hash or a round robin or a replicate, and then also use the table partitioning to partition our data. Now with the serverless SQL pool, no performance tuning is required. You can't really do a lot of performance tuning because you are reading mostly the data from external sources. But with your ADX and your dedicated SQL pool, you can see that you can have indexes, and then you can also have distribution and partition, and also indexes here on the dedicated pool as well. Now real-time streaming, it does supports that, but there is no real-time streaming for the dedicated SQL pool or for the your serverless SQL pool, limited via views. Now scaling and is automatic, as you see that we have done, like, hey, you can scale up and down. And in the dedicated SQL pool, you have a manual DW use, so you can change if you want for a higher you want to give more power to it or give low power to the dedicated pool. And with the serverless SQL pool, you really don't have to have control on it. It's fully managed by the Microsoft. So it depends on your query what you write, and then it's the resources are managed by the Microsoft. Integration in Synapse, it's built in here, and then it's built in here as well, and it's built in serverless SQL pool. So you see that if we go right here, I showed you already, if you go to manage here, you can see serverless SQL pool right here, dedicated SQL pool, you have Apache pool here, then you have a Data Explorer pool right here if you create one. Now we go back here and let's take a look on the next topic we have covered here, ideal scenarios for using ADX in Synapse. So where exactly we use this ADX in Synapse. Real-time log ingestion and querying, and the need for the fast and ad hoc exploration, interactive analytics on millions of events, monitoring large-scale distributed systems, combining streaming plus batch analysis. So these are the different scenarios where you will be using ADX. And now with the getting started, as I showed you, you will go ahead and create your pool, ADX pool, and then you will be able to write the Custo query. In the Custo query, you will say, if you're creating a notebook, then you can use a magic command, and the magic command is a percentage KQL, and then say dot show tables. Just going to show you all the table in that database. So I don't want to go in the Custo query language, how to write the Custo query and everything, because I already have everything here. And starting from select, where clauses, group by, if else, and max, min. So all those things I have covered in this tutorial in the TechBrothersIT playlist. You can go right there, or you can go to techbrothersit.com and go to the Custo query language here, and then you can open from here, and it will show you all those detail, like how to create a table. And see right there, show dot tables, and here is a create table, so you can see the definition and how it does create the tables and everything. So I will suggest, if you are interested learning more about Coastal Query Language or ADX, watch these videos, and I'm sure you will get very expert very soon. These are not the very big videos. They are like 5 minutes, 6 minute, 9 minute videos, and you will be able to gain on that knowledge quickly. I thank you very much for watching this video. Please subscribe my channel, and I will see you guys in next video.